Have you ever noticed how many of us walk around feeling just a little bit out of balance? It is not always a major illness that stops us in our tracks, but rather a quiet, persistent depletion. We find ourselves reaching for that third cup of coffee or a sugary soda just to make it through the afternoon, only to find our digestion feels sluggish and our joints feel stiff. We live in a world of quick fixes and brightly colored labels, yet the more we lean on modern processed solutions, the further we seem to drift from that vibrant energy God intended for us. There is a hidden ailment in our modern life, a lack of living, fermented nourishment that our ancestors took for granted. For thousands of years, people did not just eat to fill their bellies. They ate to preserve the life within them. Today, we're going to look back at the ancient ways to find a very simple, very natural path toward healing that begins right in your own kitchen. My name is David, and I am so glad you have joined me today for this journey into the world of fermented drinks. We are going to explore 15 specific, time-tested beverages that can help restore your gut, clear your mind, and bring a sense of renewed strength to your body. These are not complicated laboratory experiments. They are simple gifts from the earth that use the natural process of fermentation to unlock nutrients and create beneficial probiotics. By the time we are finished, you will have a complete toolkit for making these at home, and you will understand exactly how they support your health as you age. The benefits are stacked high, from better digestion and stronger immunity to improved mood and more stable energy levels throughout the day. It is about returning to a way of living that honors the temple God gave us with a slow, deliberate care it deserves. Stay with me until the very end, because our 15th drink is one that almost everyone has heard of, but very few people realize can be a powerful source of healing when made the traditional way. It might just be the oldest health secret in the book. Now, before we dive into our list, I want to share a quick, natural word of caution. While these drinks have been used for generations, I am not a doctor, and this information is for educational purposes. If you have a compromised immune system, are managing a serious health condition, or are taking specific medications, please have a conversation with your healthcare provider before making big changes to your diet. Fermented foods are powerful, and it is always wise to start slow and listen to your body's unique needs. Now, let us begin our countdown with a drink that has deep roots in the very pages of your Bible. Drink number 1 is the apple cider vinegar tonic. When we look at the book of Ruth, chapter 2, verse 14, we see Boaz inviting Ruth to come and dip her bread in the vinegar. This was not a culinary flourish. It was a staple of life. In the ancient world, vinegar was a common drink for laborers and soldiers because it provided energy and kept them hydrated during long hours in the sun. Modern apple cider vinegar is the direct descendant of those ancient fruit ferments. It is created through a two-step process where apple sugars turn to alcohol and then into acetic acid. This acetic acid is the active compound that acts like a gentle gatekeeper for your metabolism. Research, including a notable study published in the Journal of Functional Foods, suggests that consuming diluted vinegar before a meal can significantly improve insulin sensitivity and lower the blood sugar spike that happens after eating. For those of us watching our glucose levels, this is a godsend. When you buy or make it, look for the mother, those cloudy strands of protein and enzymes that hold the probiotic power. To use it, simply stir 1 tablespoon into a large glass of water before your heaviest meal. Never drink it straight, as the acid can be hard on your tooth enamel. If you want to make it yourself, chop organic apples, cover them with water and a bit of sugar in a jar, and let the air do the work over several weeks. It is a slow process, but the results are a sharp, clean tonic that wakes up your digestive system and helps your body absorb the goodness from every bite of food you take. Drink number 2 is milk kefir. This drink has been a treasure of the Caucasus Mountains for over 3,000 years. The people there were known for their remarkable longevity, and many credited their health to these fermented milk grains. While the Bible speaks often of herds of goats and cattle, fermented milk products like this were a natural way to preserve dairy in a warm climate. Unlike regular yogurt, which usually contains only 2 or 3 strains of bacteria, milk kefir is a bustling city of over 30 different strains of beneficial bacteria and yeasts. These microorganisms work together to break down lactose, which is why many people who struggle with regular milk find they can drink kefir without any trouble at all. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted how the probiotics in kefir can improve bone density and support the immune system, which is vital for us as we get older. The mechanism here is a unique combination of kefir, a special carbohydrate produced by the grains, and the high concentration of vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium out of your arteries and into your bones where it belongs. To make it at home, you simply place a spoonful of kefir grains into a jar of fresh milk and let it sit on your counter for 24 hours. Strain out the grains, and you have a creamy, tart drink that is far more powerful than anything you can buy in a plastic tub. Just be sure to start with a small serving, perhaps a quarter cup, to let your system get used to the new, friendly neighbors moving into your gut. Drink number 3 is beet kvass. This drink comes to us from the Slavic traditions of Eastern Europe, where it has been used as a blood tonic for centuries. Beets are mentioned in the ancient records of the Near East, and their deep red color was always associated with vitality. When you ferment beets in a simple brine of water and salt, you create a drink that is earthy, salty, and incredibly rich in nutrients. The active compounds here are nitrates and betalains. Nitrates are converted by your body into nitric acid, which helps relax and widen your blood vessels. This process is like opening up a narrow garden hose to let the water flow freely, which can have a wonderful effect on maintaining healthy blood pressure. Furthermore, the fermentation process makes the iron in beets more bioavailable, meaning your body can actually use it to support your energy levels. A study in the journal Nutrients found that beet juice, especially when fermented, significantly improved cardiovascular performance in older adults. It also acts as a gentle support for the liver, helping it process toxins more efficiently. To make your own, just cube 2 raw beets, put them in a half-gallon jar with a tablespoon of sea salt, and fill it with filtered water. Let it sit for about 3 to 5 days until the liquid is a deep royal purple. Drink a small glass in the morning to jumpstart your circulation. It has a very bold, savory taste, but once you feel the steady energy it provides, you might find yourself looking forward to that earthy tang every single day. Drink number 4 is fermented ginger beer. Ginger is one of the oldest medicines known to man, appearing in ancient texts across Asia and the Middle East for its ability to soothe the stomach and warm the body. While commercial ginger ale is mostly sugar and artificial flavoring, a true fermented ginger beer is a living tonic. The active compound is gingerol, which acts as a powerful anti-inflammatory agent. Think of it like a cool compress for the inside of your body, helping to calm down the low-grade inflammation that often leads to joint pain and digestive upset. I remember my wife once had a terrible bout of motion sickness, and a small glass of real, fermented ginger beer settled her stomach faster than anything else we tried. Science backs this up. Numerous studies have confirmed ginger's effectiveness in reducing nausea and improving gastric motility. When you ferment it, you are also adding a host of wild yeasts and lactobacillus that support a healthy microbiome. To make it, you first create a ginger bug by feeding grated ginger and sugar to a jar of water daily until it bubbles. Then, you mix that starter with a ginger tea and let it ferment in bottles until it is naturally fizzy. It is refreshing, spicy, and deeply healing. One safety note: because it is naturally carbonated, the pressure in the bottles can build up quickly. Be sure to use sturdy glass bottles and check them daily to release a bit of air. It is a small price to pay for a drink that can help keep your joints moving smoothly and your digestion at peace. Drink number 5 is switchel. This drink is often called haymaker's punch because it was the preferred hydration for farmers during the long, hot harvest days of the 17 and 1800s. While its American history is well known, its roots go back to the Roman drink called puska, a mixture of water and vinegar that soldiers used to stay strong on long marches. Switchel is a simple blend of water, apple cider vinegar, ginger, and a touch of molasses or maple syrup. It is essentially the original sports drink, designed by people who worked with their hands and lived by the sun. The combination of ginger and vinegar provides a double dose of digestive support, while the molasses provides essential minerals like potassium, magnesium, and iron. These electrolytes are like the spark plugs for your cells, helping your muscles and nerves communicate effectively. Unlike modern neon-colored sports drinks, Switchel has no artificial dyes or refined sugars that cause an energy crash. It provides a slow, steady rehydration that feels like rain on dry soil. To make it, just whisk together 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a teaspoon of grated ginger, and a tablespoon of molasses in 2 cups of water. You can drink it immediately or let it sit in the fridge overnight to let the flavors marry. It is a wonderful way to stay hydrated during a walk or a day working in the garden, keeping your energy level stable and your body replenished with the minerals it needs to function at its best. Drink number 6 is kombucha. This fermented tea has become very popular lately, but it actually dates back over 2,000 years to northeast China and later became a staple in Russia and Eastern Europe. It is made by fermenting sweetened tea with a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, often called a SCOBY. This rubbery disc looks a bit strange, but it is a powerhouse of biological activity. As it consumes the sugar in the tea, it produces B vitamins, organic acids, and a modest amount of probiotics. The active compounds include glucuronic acid, which is known to support the liver's natural detoxification pathways. It is like giving your liver a helping hand in clearing out the waste that can accumulate over time. Research published in the journal Food Chemistry has shown that kombucha has significant antioxidant properties, which help protect your cells from the oxidative stress that contributes to aging. The taste is a unique balance of sweet and tart, with a gentle fizz that many people find a refreshing alternative to soda. When making it at home, you brew black or green tea, stir in sugar, and let the SCOBY work its magic for about 10 days. One thing to be aware of is that kombucha does contain a very small amount of caffeine and a trace amount of alcohol as natural byproducts. For most people, this is not an issue, but it is good to keep in mind. It is a wonderful, sophisticated drink that can help sharpen your mental clarity and keep your digestive tract moving along just as it should. Drink number 7 is bread kvass. Long before the world had modern soft drinks, the people of the biblical lands and Eastern Europe were fermenting their daily bread. This drink was so common in Russia that it was often safer to drink than the local water. It is made by soaking toasted rye bread in water and letting it ferment with a bit of sugar and yeast. The result is a drink that tastes like a liquid version of a hearty, dark loaf of bread, earthy, slightly sour, and very satisfying. The primary health benefit here comes from the high concentration of B vitamins, particularly B12 and folate, which are created during the fermentation process. These vitamins are like the fuel for your nervous system. They help maintain your mood, support your cognitive function, and keep your red blood cells healthy. A study in the International Journal of Food Microbiology noted that traditional kvass can help improve the balance of flora in the gut, which in turn supports a stronger immune response. It is a wonderful way to use up stale bread and turn it into something that nourishes the body. To make it, you toast slices of rye bread until they are very dark, soak them in boiling water, and then add a little sourdough starter or commercial yeast once it cools. After a day or two, you strain it and have a drink that feels deeply grounding. It is a beautiful reminder that in God's economy, nothing is wasted, and even a piece of stale bread can be transformed into a source of life and health. Drink number 8 is June tea. If kombucha is the sturdy, everyday worker, June tea is the elegant, floral cousin. It is often called the champagne of kombucha because it is made with green tea and raw honey instead of black tea and cane sugar. Its origins are shrouded in mystery, often linked to the monasteries of Tibet where it was considered a sacred tonic. The use of honey is particularly significant from a biblical perspective. King Solomon wrote that honey is good for the soul, and we know it was a prized food in the Promised Land. Raw honey contains natural enzymes and antimicrobial properties that are preserved and even enhanced during the fermentation process. The green tea provides a high dose of polyphenol, which are antioxidants that help protect your heart and support healthy brain function. The combination of honey and green tea creates a drink that is lighter and smoother than regular kombucha, with a delicate effervescence. The mechanism here is the synergy between the honey's enzymes and the tea's antioxidants, which work together to reduce systemic inflammation. To make it, you need a specific June SCOBY, which is different from a regular kombucha culture. You brew green tea, let it cool to room temperature so you don't kill the honey's beneficial properties. Stir in the honey and let it ferment for about a week. It is a truly special drink that feels like a treat while it quietly works to strengthen your body's natural defenses and bring a sense of calm to your system. Drink number 9 is water kefir. This is the perfect option for those who want the probiotic benefits of kefir without the dairy. The grains used for water kefir are translucent, crystal-like structures that feed on sugar water or coconut water. They create a light, bubbly drink that is incredibly versatile. I actually keep a jar of this going on my kitchen counter most weeks because it is so easy to maintain. The active compound here is a complex of polysaccharides produced by the grains, which have been studied for their ability to support the immune system and potentially lower cholesterol. Because it is so mild, you can flavor it with anything from fresh berries to lemon and mint, making it a wonderful replacement for sugary juices. The fermentation process consumes most of the sugar, leaving you with a drink that is low in calories, but high in living cultures. According to research in the journal Frontiers in Microbiology, water kefir contains a diverse array of lactobacillus and yeasts that can help colonize the gut and improve overall digestive health. To make it, you dissolve a bit of sugar in water, add the grains, and let it sit for 48 hours. Then you strain the grains, and you can do a second ferment with fruit for extra fizz. It is a joyful dancing kind of drink that brings a bit of brightness to your day while providing your gut with the diversity of bacteria it needs to stay resilient against illness. Drink number 10 is tepache. This is a traditional Mexican fermented drink that makes use of something most of us usually throw away: the peels and core of a pineapple. While pineapples were not in the ancient Middle East, the principle of using every part of the fruit is a very old and wise one. Tepache is made by fermenting pineapple scraps with water, piloncillo or brown sugar, and warm spices like cinnamon and cloves. The star of the show here is an enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain is a powerful protein-digesting enzyme that also has significant anti-inflammatory properties. It is like a pair of biological scissors that helps break down food in your stomach and reduces swelling in your joints. A study in the journal Biomedical Reports found that bromelain can be as effective as some over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medications for managing joint discomfort. When you ferment the pineapple, you are also getting the benefits of wild yeasts and bacteria that support your microbiome. The taste is tropical, spicy, and deeply refreshing. To make it, you simply put your pineapple peels in a large jar with water, sugar, and a cinnamon stick. Cover it with a cloth and let it sit for 2 to 3 days until it gets nice and foamy on top. Strain it and serve it over ice. It is a wonderful example of how God provides healing in the most humble places, even in the scraps we might otherwise discard. It is a drink that honors the earth and blesses the body with every sip. Drink number 11 is coconut kefir. This is made by adding water kefir grains, or a powdered starter, to pure coconut water. Coconut water is already a nutritional powerhouse, often called nature's fluid, because its electrolyte balance is so similar to human blood. It is rich in potassium, which is essential for heart health and muscle function. When you ferment it, you turn those natural sugars into a probiotic tonic that is even more hydrating than plain water. The active compound here is lauric acid, which is known for its antimicrobial and antifungal properties. It is like a gentle internal cleanser that helps keep harmful bacteria in check. For those of us who find it difficult to stay hydrated, especially in the warmer months, coconut kefir provides deep, cellular hydration that helps prevent that tired, drained feeling. A study published in the journal Food and Function indicated that fermented coconut water can help improve lipid profiles and support metabolic health. The taste is unique, a little bit salty, a little bit sour, and very refreshing. To make it, you just pour coconut water into a jar, add your grains, and let it sit for a day or two until it turns slightly cloudy. It is a simple way to take a healthy gift from nature and make it even more powerful through the wisdom of fermentation. It is particularly good after a morning of activity, helping to replenish your minerals and settle your stomach all at once. Drink number 12 is wild fermented lemonade. This is a beautiful way to take a familiar favorite and turn it into a healing tonic. Unlike the lemonade you find at the store, which is packed with refined sugar, this version uses the wild yeasts found on the lemons themselves to create a probiotic fizz. Lemons have been used for centuries in Mediterranean cultures for their high vitamin C content and their ability to stimulate digestion. Vitamin C is a cornerstone of our health as we age, supporting collagen production for our skin and joints and helping our immune cells stay sharp. When you ferment lemon juice with a bit of honey and water, the wild fermentation process creates a drink that is alive with enzymes. The mechanism here is the combination of citric acid, which can help prevent certain types of kidney stones, and the probiotics that support the gut-brain axis. We often forget that our gut and our brain are constantly talking to each other, and a happy gut often leads to a clearer, more peaceful mind. To make it, you squeeze fresh lemons, add water and honey, and include a few pieces of the lemon zest, which is where those wild yeasts live. Let it sit in a jar with a loose lid for a few days until you see tiny bubbles rising to the surface. It is bright, tart, and full of life, a perfect reminder of the freshness and renewal that we can find when we align ourselves with the natural rhythms of creation. Drink number 13 is elderflower and fruit kvass. The elder tree has a long history in folk medicine, often called the medicine chest of the common people. The flowers, which bloom in late spring, are rich in flavonoids like quercetin, which are known for their ability to support the respiratory system and reduce allergy symptoms. I love taking a walk in the woods when the elderflowers are in bloom. The scent is just heavenly. When you ferment these blossoms with a bit of fruit like apples or berries, you create a kvass that is incredibly gentle and supportive. The active compounds in the elderflowers act like a soothing balm for the lungs and sinuses, while the fermentation adds that familiar probiotic boost. A study in the Journal of Dietary Supplements found that elderberry and elderflower preparations can significantly reduce the duration and severity of cold and flu symptoms. This drink is like a warm blanket for your immune system, helping it stay strong and resilient. To make it, you place a handful of fresh or dried elderflowers in a jar with sliced fruit, water, and a bit of honey. Let it ferment for 2 to 3 days until it is lightly bubbly. It has a beautiful floral taste that is unlike anything else. It is a sophisticated healing drink that feels like a true gift from the garden, providing a gentle way to support your health through the changing seasons. Drink number 14 is Rejuvelac. This drink might have a modern-sounding name, but it is based on the ancient practice of fermenting sprouted grains. It was popularized by health pioneers in the mid-20th century as a way to rejuvenate the digestive system. It is made by soaking whole grains like wheat, rye, or quinoa until they sprout, then letting them sit in water to ferment. The process of sprouting unlocks the nutrients stored inside the grain, making them much easier for our bodies to absorb. Rejuvelac is rich in enzymes that help break down our food, which is especially helpful as our natural enzyme production can slow down as we get older. It also contains a good amount of B vitamins and a very high concentration of lactobacillus. The active mechanism here is the enzymatic activity that supports a healthy intestinal lining, which is the foundation of our overall health. It has a very mild, slightly lemony taste that is easy to incorporate into your routine. To make it, you sprout your grains for a day or two until the little tails appear, then put them in a jar of water for another 48 hours. The water will turn cloudy and take on a pleasant, tart smell. It is a quiet, humble drink, but it is one of the most effective ways to support a tired digestive system and bring a sense of lightness back to your body. It is a wonderful example of how even the smallest seed, when given the right environment, can become a source of profound healing. Drink number 15 is homemade probiotic root beer. Now, I promise you this one would be a surprise. Most of us think of root beer as a sugary treat, but its origins are actually as a medicinal tonic made from barks and roots. Traditional root beer was made with things like sarsaparilla, sassafras, burdock root, and dandelion root. These are all powerful herbs that have been used for centuries to support the liver and purify the blood. Burdock and dandelion, in particular, are known as alteratives, meaning they help the body's elimination organs work more effectively. When you brew a tea from these roots and ferment it with a ginger bug or ale yeast, you are creating a drink that is rich in minerals and probiotics. It is like a deep forest bath for your internal systems. The active compounds, such as saponins and sarsaparilla, have been studied for their ability to reduce skin irritation and support joint health. To make it, you simmer the roots to make a strong tea, add a bit of unrefined sugar for the yeast to eat, and let it ferment in bottles until it is fizzy. It tastes incredibly complex, earthy, sweet, and spicy all at once. It is a far cry from the canned versions, and it serves as a powerful reminder that we can take the things the world has turned into junk and, with a little wisdom and patience, restore them to their original healing purpose. As we look back over this list of 15 drinks, from the sharp tang of apple cider vinegar to the deep, earthy richness of traditional root beer, I hope you see a common thread. Each of these beverages is a way of partnering with the natural world to bring balance back to our bodies. Whether it is the bone-strengthening power of milk kefir, the blood pressure support of beet kvass, or the digestive ease of fermented ginger, these are tools that have stood the test of time. They remind us that healing does not always have to be found in a pill bottle. Sometimes it is found in a glass jar on our kitchen counter, bubbling away with the life God placed in the very air around us. We have seen how these ancient traditions are being confirmed by modern science, showing us that the old ways often hold the keys to our future health. It is a rhythmic, beautiful process, using the fruit of the vine, the grain of the field, and the roots of the earth to nourish the temple of the Holy Spirit. Healing is rarely a sudden event. It is more often a slow, daily process of nourishment and care. By choosing to incorporate even one or two of these fermented drinks into your life, you are making a commitment to that slow, steady path toward wellness. You are choosing to listen to your body and provide it with the living cultures and natural compounds it needs to thrive as you age. It is about returning to a simpler way of being, where we take the time to prepare our food with intention and gratitude. Ancient wisdom has returned to our modern kitchens, not as a trend, but as a necessary correction to a world that has forgotten how to truly feed itself. I encourage you to start where you are with what you have, and see how these living waters can bring a new sense of vitality to your days. I would love to hear which of these drinks you are most excited to try first. Perhaps you already have a favorite ferment that has made a difference in your health. Please leave a comment and share your story with us. We learn so much more when we journey together. If this information has been a blessing to you, I invite you to subscribe to our channel and share this video with a friend who might be looking for a natural way to feel better. Let us continue to support one another in our pursuit of health and faith. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you.